start from 1st October. Whether all the provisions start now, 1st October, because today's paper itself says that we do not have retrospective amendment, but we already have retrospective taxation. Apparently the debt fund capital gains tax is going to start from 1st April, and I don't know whether this has happened earlier in the past or not. My second question, you mentioned that FII investments in India will be treated as capital gains, but the example that you give, and there are many such examples, of the industry of FMO, where the buy and sell options as a speculative gain. So what happens in this?
Yeah, so I think even somebody had sent a question on Twitter or somewhere about the retrospectivity as far as the debt fund is concerned. So the way the budget is worded, the budget of 2000, this time is an exception because we have it in July, otherwise we generally have it in February. So had we had a regular budget, suppose let's take 2015, when the budget comes in 2015, it will be February. So that budget would apply for the next year. That is, the budget of Feb 15 would apply for financial year 15-16. This budget, which was supposed to have come in February, but because of the election and the code of conduct, it was not there. We just had it in July. But it would apply for current financial year. So in general, all the provisions which are there would apply for the financial year 14-15. So they come into effect in technical jargon assessment year 15-16, but in simple language financial year 14-15. So because they were delayed and it has come in July, we feel that it is retrospective, but that is one problem that is there because of the way the election is planned and the budget comes a little late in the year. So generally all the provisions come in, and I'm talking about direct tax. Indirect tax, some of them are already on the course from 11 July. Generally all the provisions are effective 1st April 14 and would apply to 31st March 2015. As a result of which, the provisions, the amendment relating to the debt funds, which are effective for current financial year, apply even to the income which has already been earned from 1st April to 9th July or 10th July. So while those people who had invested earlier, based on the earlier law, they are hit now obviously, and in a way they are supposed retrospective, but that can't be right because the budget is structured that way. It will be very difficult to say that it will apply to income earned after 11 July or after whatever. It doesn't work that way because all, and it is nothing to do with BJP or Congress, all it has always been like this. So that is one. As far as the FIR are concerned, the way the section has been drafted, it says that any security in which the FIR invests will be considered as a capital asset. And security is defined to mean, it's the same meaning as what is defined in Securities Contract Regulation Act. In Securities Contract Regulation Act, securities include shares, units, debentures, mutual funds, and derivatives. So therefore, when an FII invests in any security, whether it is equities or units or bonds or FNO, they all fall in the definition of securities, and therefore all of them will be considered as capital assets, and therefore when there is any profit or loss on disposal of any of the securities, it will all be considered as capital gains. No. So for domestic players, there is a clause which says that in certain circumstances that will not be treated as speculative business. So the problem is that common man understands, it presumes that it is business income and it is therefore speculative income. I would, if you sit with me for half an hour, explain to you that in all cases it is not necessarily taken as business income. And if you don't have treated as business income, it does not necessarily become speculative business income. So I don't think, of course, the biggest discrimination is that you are treating everything as capital asset. That of course is a discrimination as I mentioned. But on the FII front, I don't think that there is, we can draw a fine line and get out of it.
Regarding domestic investors, the quick question regarding domestic investors on that question. how do you think the government will look at this question of business income versus capital gains?
I think the issue is there, as I said, that there is already a controversy. A lot of taxpayers are facing this problem about categorization of income between business and capital gains. And honestly speaking, there is no simple solution to it. What has happened is that a lot of people are actually doing the business of buying and selling shares. They are borrowing money and putting it into stock market. They are doing day trading. They are buying and selling every day. They are actually, the holding. So all the conditions which have been given by the CBDT in the circulars to help the tax officer in distinguishing between the two. A lot of people are following in those things, which would say that it is business income. And despite that, they are treating it as capital gains, obviously for tax reasons. So I would say that the taxpayer also need to be a little more honest with the tax department and not take things for granted. The moment you start doing that, you have changes in the law. We generally hate the people who are honest taxpayers and who are on the right side of the law, they get hit, and those guys who are not being followed, they get away with it. Today also I have people who are buying and selling shares in cash. I don't know how they are managing to do this. Effect was there is cash transaction and it is going on big time. And they are those are not being tax anyway before they are in cash. But a lot of people are showing actual business income as capital gains, and I would think that's where the problem is.
Good evening. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for a very thought-provoking session. My question is about, Modi government's campaign was really based on the youth factor. The 18 to 35 group is the biggest factor that brought Modi government perhaps to this fantastic mandate I got. So what about education? There was no word about education. And my question is about education cess. Government has been collecting education cess for the last so many years. What about the accountability? Whether that particular money has been spent upon education or something else? Thank you.
Absolutely, you are right. In fact, that was the reason why people were objecting to the education cess. Because first of all, the taxes are collected for these kind of things. For roads, infrastructure, education, healthcare, etc. And then you say that now you have a separate education cess for education. And actually speaking, that education cess has not been used by the earlier government. So you are right that so the two things. One is about that what is being done about education, and the second is what is being done with the education cess. The answer to the second is nothing is being done with the education cess. It is just lying there, and you just including those pie chart that you showed this side. You have to find out something from where the money is coming in. So the second answer is nothing is being done. So, and coming back to the first one, I certainly, as voters of the government, we certainly have a right to ask the government as to what we plan to do with this. I would say 45 days again is too short for them to take any decision. But as time goes, they will certainly need to come out with the answer that they have promised in the election campaign. And education, healthcare, infrastructure, all these, the bucket of information highways. Normal highways also is something that we continue need. So yes, I would certainly expect the answers to come very soon in the coming months.
No, it's not the question, it's on the cess, because I had filed an RTI a year back. Now, although the cess was packaged in a way that it would be an asset creation for the education system at the primary level, but the budgetary system where in 2004, Chidambaram himself said that it would be going to the SSA, which is the Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan, and the midday meals, which is basically offsetting the 4% of the education outflow. So the money is still going to the same two systems, that is midday meal and Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan, and however there is no accountability, as in not the financial planning commission has the account of how much money is going to the HRD department, neither the HRD department has it that how many money has actually gone to the midday meal or the Sarva Shikshan Abhiyan. So there is no asset creation per se for the cess.
I agree. So So that accountability has got to, and I think that's, we have a Prime Minister who is very vocal and who is very open. He talks so much as compared to, our earlier experience. So that being the case, they will have to be careful as to what they are doing and what they are talking about. And these kind of things, and he being so open and, receptive to public views, obviously he would be reading stuff that we write on his, Twitter handle or Facebook page, etc. And hopefully action would be taken,
Bring the session to a close. So I think in conclusion we can say that अच्छे दिन आ सकते हैं. We are not very sure, but it's not looking all that bad. And I think all of us should use the fact, as Ameet Patel said, that the Prime Minister is on Twitter and he listens to things, to point out that our expectations are much higher, and 45 days may be short, but we expect a lot more from this government. Thank you again, Amit, for coming for the 6th time. Thank you, Debashis.